It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like. Hello, long time no see. Most of the videos I've been uploading, they were recorded about 6 months ago or more. I just batch recorded a load then because I've been very busy doing my photography degree course, and I'm still very busy doing it, but I've just about run out of stockpile videos, so I've got to record some new ones, and this is a new one. The GPD XD. I really like this thing, as you may know if you saw my video about it. It's my go-to handheld of choice. In fact, the only other handheld that gets a look in with me is the 3DS XL, because I am one of those rare people who likes the 3D. I have always enjoyed this, and I think it's brilliant, the emulation that it does, and I play some of the Android games on it as well. But I've always been a little bit frustrated on a couple of points with it, which, well, I'll explain. People have said to me since I did my video about the GPD, they've said get the LegacyROM firmware, replace the firmware that's on that, because it is full of, well, things like Happy Chick. You can kind of remove it, but bits are left behind. There's loads of bloat and stuff that you don't want. And to be honest, certain aspects of it are a little bit bugged. What is it? What's it called? RetroArch? Not quite sure how it's pronounced. I'm going to call it RetroArch. While that works great on my phone, it would never work on my GPD. The interface would just be completely screwed up and I couldn't select anything. It just didn't work. And that frustrated me because no 32X emulation. And another thing that I got running on my phone, which runs very nicely, is Sega Saturn emulation, and I don't know how you pronounce it. Yabosi? Something, I just don't know. And this supposedly is something that is fixed with the LegacyROM firmware. Something to do with the Mali driver that comes on these things. The Mali driver is a bit crap, apparently. And the Legacy firmware thing has a different graphics driver. I don't know. I guess it's using the rock chip, some specific driver for the rock chip hardware that's in these. I don't know. But anyway, people have said use the LegacyROM firmware, and I've always been a little bit, I don't like flashing me hardware. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. You've got a dirty mind if you've got a mind like mine. Yeah, I'm always wary about doing things like that, because if you get it wrong, you're going to break it. And if you break it, it's just plain not going to work. So, it's like the JXD S7800B, whatever. New firmware came out for that. I looked at it, I looked at the instructions, and I just realised these instructions, they just didn't make sense to me. There was too much room for interpretation or misinterpretation, and I was like, I'm not risking it. It was written in English. It was very vague. It was not, I was just not going to go there. And so I thought, I'm not going to risk it with this either. I didn't even go and look, which maybe I should have, but I didn't. And then I saw a video a couple of days ago by a chap called Retro Rob, who I've been subscribed to for a while because he does really good videos on the GPD XD, the GPD Win, and a load of other stuff. Good channel, good, useful, interesting content, highly recommended. He did a video recently, how to install the LegacyROM on the GPD XD, and I watched it and I thought, I can do that. It was not that complicated. All the links of where to go and everything, I'm going to link to his video down there. Or knowing YouTube, they'll probably move it in, it'll be somewhere else, but down there I'm going to link to his video, and he links to the places where you can get the LegacyROM. I'm not going to say I highly recommend it, because as he says in his video, there are risks involved in flashing your firmware. So this is not me saying you should do this. This is me saying I did this and look what it does. And then you can make your own decisions, and informed decisions, if you watch Rob's video, if you're interested in doing this yourself. I'm not going to explain how to do it. He does it very, very well, and you know, full credit to him. He did a brilliant job there, and I'm not going to copy him. And I hope I'm not stealing his thunder or doing something, jumping the gun, doing bleh. What I'm doing here, I hope he wasn't planning on doing, because I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been doing with this since installing that firmware. So if you were planning on doing these, sorry Rob, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Yeah, I'm going to move into the other room now, because that's where I record my gameplays and stuff, because the light is better than in here. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. This is probably going to be difficult and maybe disastrous, in that I'm struggling to focus and I'm out of practice and stuff doing this. Difficult, you know, recording a handheld. Whatever. Excuse me, I'm treading on a USB cable. Okay, so this is how I have my LegacyROM firmware configured. It's basically a stripped down, bog standard, no frills, nothing added Android OS. And on it I have added all my own choices in terms of emulators. Nothing amazing there. This is how I like my Android devices. First of all, I'm going to show you RetroArch, call it what you like. I'm guessing it means archive, but I might be wrong. Okay. Load content. You see, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do any of this with the original firmware. It just didn't work. And now it does, which is very pleasing for one reason. I wanted to play this. You can dial down the opaqueness, opacity, whatever. You can make these more see-through so you can't see them so much, but I can't be bothered right now. Trying to remember, press start button, there we go. Just showing you how well it works on here, because it's great. I would rather be playing the main version, but I just can't make that work. I need to change my glasses, I can't see diddly here. Here we go, reading glasses. I'm old. Where's the button? There's the button. And here we go. Can't remember the controls, so I'm probably going to make a pig's ear of this. It's that one. No, it's not that one. There we go. I like to play it there. Normally I like to play first person view on racing games, but virtual racing is one of those where I would rather play with the external view. It just works better. And I love this version of virtual racing. I mean, I've got it on I've got the Mega Drive version, which is impressive given what it's running on, but it's still, the frame rate's a bit meh. I've got the Saturn version, which is kind of bleh. It's just wrong. It was done by Warner Interactive, I think. There's a PS2 version, which is great, and I've got it on MAME, which I can run on my PC, but not on the GPD. So this is about as good as you're going to get it, I think, on the GPD. It is the 32X version, Virtual Racing Deluxe, and it's great. Christmas 1994, I've told the story many times, sat there playing it all day, crying my eyes out because my girlfriend had left me. So it's like, whenever I play it, it's, as long as I don't play Kate Bush, I'm alright. Yep, there's that. That's one reason I am really pleased with this LegacyROM firmware. I can play this because I love this. It's a fantastic game, and you need the RetroArch, whatever, multi-system emulator to do it on Android.
plenty of Mega Drive emulators and really good ones, but this is the only thing that will play the 32X. I don't know why. I don't know why more emulators won't. Why is there no standalone 32X emulator on Android? I have no idea. But here we are. It does this. Now I've got to try and remember how to get back to... it's that, isn't it? Load content. There are other things on RetroArch that are good. There's a good 7800 emulator, which is... what was I playing last night? Oh, let's have a go at that. Can't remember what the controls are here. Oh, well, that'll do. I mean, I've got... Can't remember what the don't know what the buttons are. That looks like one of them. I've got a 7800. In fact, I've got two 7800s, and they both have awful video output. They're like full of nasty lines and artifacts and stuff, and it just seems to be a feature of PAL 7800s, which is pissy, really. It's a shame, because as an 8-bit system, I think it's actually really good. Technically speaking, it's not up there with the Master System. It's probably not a million miles away from the NES. Sadly, I mean, it was released way too late. How do I change gear? Not like that, then. I don't know. Okay, like that. That was me not really paying attention to what I was doing. But that's not what I'm doing this for anyway. I'm not demoing the game, I'm demoing the emulator. So, no. Yeah, that's 7800. We have, no, not load core, load content. The thing with this emulator, RetroArch, is it's complicated. In how to use it is not instantly obvious, or it wasn't for me, or maybe I'm just a bit thick. But it's I've forgotten what I'm looking at. Yes, no, I've remembered. Oh, what'll we play? I haven't got many games on here for this. Okay then. Now we'll just do Berserk. Yeah, Vectrex. I've forgotten what I was saying. Can't remember. Yes, it's not necessarily an easy or obvious system to set up. It's actually not difficult. It's just... Oh, yeah, you can shut up. That is one of the things about RetroArch. It will do that. It will try to do a system update and fail. Come on, get on with it. Here we go. You have to use the D-pad. The analog thing is not set up here. I don't know if you probably can set it up, but I haven't. And I'm not... There will... Oh, God, go away, Otto, you bastard. Get off me. Yeah, there'll probably be people who will message me and say, how do I set this up? How do I make this work? Where do I get it? Where you get it is on the Android store. How to set it up, I'm not going to explain it. If you're not experienced with emulators, well, I'm afraid I'm not going to give this happens sometimes. I will show a thing and people will ask for a detailed, I don't know why I'm doing that, a detailed explanation on how to set a thing up in the comments. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. It's too complicated. It's too complicated to answer in comments. Maybe I will do a video at some point showing how to set it up, but really I'm sure there are people out there who have done it better and have the time, because I don't. I'm showing this to show you it can be done. Figure it out, get the software and work it out. Because it's initially confusing, but it's actually not complicated. It's just not oh bollocks, it's not entirely intuitive at first, but it gets easier. Once you figure it out, you'll have no problem. Yeah, I'm not wanting to put people off. I just don't want a million people. God, if a million people watched, I'd be very pleased. You know, saying, how do I do this? I can't answer that in the comments, and that's not the video I'm doing at this time. Okay, moving on. Other. You see all these things I've got down here. Not all of these are for running on RetroArch. This is just where I store all of my ROMs. Yes, okay. Virtual Boy, it does that as well. I'm not going to show that here. What I am going to show you is one that actually doesn't work, but, well, it kind of does. This is the only emulator I'm aware of that will run the Atari Jaguar remotely, even slightly, on Android. I know when the JXD S7800B was advertised on what's the name's Funstock website, it showed like logos for all the systems that would supposedly run on it, and the Jaguar was one of them, and that irritated me because, well, it doesn't. There is no dedicated Jaguar emulator for Android, but this on RetroArch is a Jaguar emulator that it just barely works. This is a Club Drive, not to be confused with Drive Club, which is a fantastic game. I don't know which is the break. You know, it's a pretty ropey game at the best of times, and on this emulation it's even more ropey. But I'm just showing it because it does just about function. It's really slow, it glitches, the sound barely works, there's very little. It's not really playable, but I'm just demonstrating it as it's like a proof of concept, if you like. This can be done to some degree. I just wish they'd put more time and effort and stuff into that. I don't know if it's currently in development. I've taken my hands off the controls now. I don't know if it's currently in development or not. It's not a standalone emulator. I don't know what the story is with it, but just the fact that it's there, it exists, some attempt has been made to emulate the Jaguar on Android, I find that interesting. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna bang out of RetroArch. I'm probably annoying the hell out of someone if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but meh. And I'm going to go on to this, and if you want to talk about pronouncing things wrong, how do you pronounce that? O-U, yeah, is it Yaborse, Yabors, Yabuse, yeah, whatever. It is the Sega Saturn emulator. It plays some games, and some it doesn't. There is, look it up, Google Yaborse compatibility list, and you will find a compatibility list, and these are games that work. There are some that are supposed to work that don't. I couldn't make Manx TT Superbike work, but these work. The reason I got this, the game I wanted to play, this is what it was all about for me, Radiant Silvergun. I have this, I have the original disc for my actual Sega Saturn, and I love it. It's a fantastic game, but I wanted to be able to play it on the go, if you like, because, well, you can't do that or you haven't been able to on a lot of handhelds or whatever. I've been able to do it on my phone, but it's all been like touchscreen, and I don't want that, and I don't want to be carting around a Bluetooth joypad just to play this. Oh god, and I'm not, oh crap, I need me that, and I can't, while I'm videoing I can't do that. That's what I want, that weapon there. I can't use me funny big swipey sword thing, whatever you want to call it, to grab all the stuff and power up and things, because of how I'm recording the video. But I'm just showing this to demonstrate it works. You have to have the frame skip on, so you're not going to get the full, whatever, 30 or 60 frames a second, but it's a playable speed, as you can see here. That just impresses the crap out of me, because without the LegacyROM, this was unplayable. I tried it, the emulator would run, but it was too slow. It was too slow to be playable. You put the frame skip on and it was a super mega jerk fest. That sounds wrong. And if you didn't have the frame skip on, well, it was very, 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 very slow. So there's that. I can't remember how to, yeah. Okay, I just edited out an advert. You have adverts on that thing that, yeah. And I've edited it out because copyright and stuff like that. Yeah, Sega Rally. This, it's another like must-have Saturn game. And how well does it run? Let's have a look. I've got the sound down quite low because it's the sound they always pick up on when it comes to copyright and all of that crap. Yeah, we'll just dive straight in there. I'm going for manual, automatic rather, because I can't reach the gears whilst playing like this. Here we go. So the frame rate is not ideal, but it is playable. There is some glitching going on there as well, in sort of in the middle distance. I think that's like dust being kicked up, but it's like you can see through the screen or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what causes it, what it is. Maybe you're just seeing through the road, but it doesn't matter in terms of playability. Oh God, it's good enough. You can play this. And Daytona as well. I've got Daytona on here. I'm not going to load that one up. Take my word for it. It's as playable as this. You know, you've still got all the pop in. The frame rate is not perfect, though I never thought it was particularly good. But it's playable. You can do Daytona Championship Edition, Circuit Edition, whatever I think Circuit Edition, isn't it, in the UK? I tried that and there was glitching on it in terms of some of the scenery wasn't rendering properly, and it annoyed me, so I uninstalled it. It works, but nah, the first version is probably better. Probably going to have to edit out adverts now. Oh, we didn't get an ad, we got a request for a donation. Virtua Fighter, that works. Radiant Silvergun, Panzer Dragoons 1 and 2, they both work. Nights into Dreams works. Apparently Christmas Nights maybe doesn't. I haven't tried that one. Yeah, so that works. It's great. It impresses the hell out of me because I've been wanting to play it for ages and it just wasn't there. But with this LegacyROM, it is. It's good enough. Last thing I'm going to show you, this remote PS4 remote play. You're supposed to have a Sony phone or a PS Vita or a PlayStation TV to use this, or a PC. But your typical Android device, no. But you can get a hacked version of it. But you've got to have a rooted device, which this LegacyROM is. It roots your GPD, and then you can run this hacked version of it. How well it works is very much dependent on your Wi-Fi. I am finding it, well, I'll show you. It's turning on my PS4. I'm a long way from my roots, so this might not work especially well. Okay, no, I'm going to have to do some editing here. You can see my name. Yeah. This is a hacked version or modded version of the app that's meant to run on Sony phones and devices and whatnot. It is meant for touchscreen display. There are touchscreen overlays that would be here, and you use that. I ran that version. There is a version of this with the on-screen overlays for the touchscreen, and I then used the control. oh god, the joypad app thingamajig that lets you this to put all the controls onto the overlay, and then I took off this app and installed a different version of the app that removes the overlays, but for some reason or other this recognized the locations I'd already saved and kept them there. So you can control it without having crap all over the screen, basically. I'm not explaining that well, but anyway, how well does it work? That's not an easy one to answer. Some things are going to need your L3 and R3 buttons, like Battlefield, and though you have the buttons on here, the touch screen doesn't seem to allow for those buttons. So it's like Battlefield and things like that. It's not worth bothering because there are going to be certain things that you just can't do. Battlefront, that needs the L3, R3. A lot of these I haven't actually even tried. Void, that's like one of your cheap things on PlayStation Plus giveaway jobby, that is okay. Drive Club, okay, let's load this up. We'll see. Hopefully this will demonstrate how good or otherwise this works. You see there was a little logo there that was saying I've got a pretty poor connection, I might lose my connection, because I'm a long way from my router, and it's always going to be a problem. Didn't really want to do that, but whatever. Let's just go to where I've been playing. Yeah, we'll go there. I'm not actually sure that this is what... No, I've gone to the wrong one. Whatever, we'll do it. I don't know what the goal is here. Oh, and it occurs to me that I'm not going to be able to control my gears. So, or not easily. Are we going? You see, it's good at showing all of this stuff, fairly. Or a bit of you're glitching out there. Yeah. Oh. Right, okay. Forgot what the controls were. Yeah, graphically this is looking kind of horrible at the moment because I've got low bandwidth. Well, no, it's not low bandwidth. I'm just too far from my router, and it's all pixelated. Oh god, it's a pixelated mess. The biggest problem with this game, actually, apart from when it goes all pixely, is lag. There is maybe a tenth of a second. I'm not sure. I don't know how to measure it, but there is lag between you pushing a direction and it responding. That is a problem. Also, just general visibility and being able to see where you're going because of the pixels and stuff. It is... I look on it more as it's a clever proof of concept. It's a clever, hey, look at what I can do with my handheld. I'm playing my PS4 game on it, and it's not meant to be able to do that. I find it cool, but in terms of will I actually sit down and play this game on this handheld? No, I won't, because limitations. But some games are playable. Like this. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. This one takes forever to load. I'll just stand up and give my back a rest. Okay, here we go. So the thing with this game, it's slow. There's not lots of action. It's just kind of wandering around. I don't really know. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's lagging like mad, and but it's nice to just wander around and look at the scenery, and it doesn't matter. You haven't got to respond quickly to anything. It's all atmosphere and mystery and stuff, and it's pretty. And sometimes you just want to look at something pretty, and this is prettier and visually more detailed than anything you're ever going to find on a native Android game. And you can do that because it's the PS4 doing all the brute force graphical stuff, and the Android thing is just streaming it. So, you know, it's great for this. A lot of games it's like, just don't even bother unless you're sitting right next to your router. It's just too glitchy. But for something like this, I think it's great. There we are. That's adequately, I think, demonstrated what you can do with this. Where do you get... Well, I need to bang out of that, don't I? You can actually, in the same way as I just... I powered up, or... I have my PS4 in rest mode. And that, if you set your options correctly, don't ask me how, work it out yourself. You can set your PS4 so that when it's in rest mode, it can be turned on remotely. I have mine set like that. And then I keep it in rest mode, and you can put it back in rest mode remotely, like this. I've just turned my PS4 off, well, into rest mode. It's downstairs in my living room. I'm upstairs in my games room. There we go. Bang out of that. Where do you get that? Well, you can get PS4 Remote Play on the Android Play Store. It won't work because that's meant for Sony devices, of which, well, this isn't. I will link to the website where I got it from. It's a hacked version. I put one version on to set up my control thingies, because it had the screen overlays. I then uninstalled that one and installed another version that hides the control overlays, the screen overlays. Both of those should be available on the page that I will link to, though I tried last night and the ones without the overlay wasn't working for some reason, so I don't know if they will still be working. I'll put the link below. You can find out yourself if you want to. It's more an interesting thing to say, hey, look what I can do, than to actually seriously play with, really. I find it not quite effective enough. I get the feeling with the PS Vita, I would be trying an ad hoc connection directly to the PS4 rather than going through the router. I suspect you would get less lag. But I don't know. It's a shame this thing won't let you do that. That would be interesting. So there you are. That is what I've been doing with my GPD XD since installing LegacyROM. As I've said previously, if you are interested in installing this firmware, check out Retro Rob's video. Do pay attention to the warnings. If you're going to install it, follow his instructions exactly. Don't skip anything. Don't think you know better, because if you get it wrong, you'll break your handheld, and you don't want to do that. Okay, enough blathering. I think I've said everything I wanted to say and shown you everything I wanted to show you. It's cool. It makes the GPD XD better. It removes all the crap you don't want, and it basically just makes it more efficient. It gives it a better graphic driver so that things like the Saturn emulator will work, and things like RetroArch will work, and those are good things. And it just demonstrates more what a capable system the GPD XD is. It was crippled with the firmware that's on it, as it comes from China or wherever it comes from. What they put on it is not ideal. It can do better. Yeah, I'll shut up now because I'm waffling. Thank you for watching.
Right, hit the subscribe button or I'm getting naked on camera. Go on, do it. Right, you asked for it. Ah, you asked for it. Ha, ha, ha. Uh-oh.